So this is another game week in the Premier League where we have lots of matches going down in the Premier League, and this is game week 22 where we have Man City playing Ipswich, we have Newcastle playing Bournemouth, we have Man United playing Brighton, and we have Arsenal playing against Aston Villa at the Emirates Stadium, among other matches going down this weekend as well. So we'll be looking at some of these fixtures in details and analyzing them based on team's performance over previous matches. Okay, so we'll start by looking at the match between Man United and Brighton at the Old Trafford. And looking at Man United last performance from the match against Southampton, you can see that they had a 3-1 win against Southampton. Looking at the fixture, but that was a very poor performance from the Man United team because they started getting their results around 80-something minutes of the match, while Southampton were actually dominating the game in terms of attack and numbers of chances created in that match. And it is expected from the Amorim boys or from the Amorim Solution boys that they should step up their game in terms of their attack options and how they go about their business. And looking at their opponent, which is Brighton, who have actually obtained their first win in the last 8 games. This is their first win in the last 8 games from the Brighton team. We feel that this is a new fresh air at Brighton at the moment, having João Pedro back. Likewise, we're having Danny Welbeck back to the team. I feel that this will actually influence the way they go about doing their business over the weekend. Okay, and looking at other fixtures such as the match between the Arsenal team and the Aston Villa team, you can see from the Arsenal last match against Tottenham Hotspur, I think Arsenal have done a double against Spurs at this particular period of the season. And by this the same time of the season, last season, I think Arsenal were finding it difficult to win teams like Spurs, teams like Aston Villa. These are like teams that basically cost them the league title. If you go back and look at the analysis, Arsenal have done a double against Spurs so far, and we expect them to do another double against this Aston Villa team. And looking at their last match against Spurs, you can see that they performed perfectly well and they have to actually step up their game. And looking at this match, they were also able to convert chances, okay, after dominating Spurs for about 20 minutes. They need to also improve in terms of their attack option. So looking at the Arsenal team in recent times, most people have been criticizing the team and its manager in terms of the poor performance from the team. And looking at this team critically, where they are last season as at this particular game week, from last season to the same game week in this season, you see that the Arsenal team are actually improved in terms of points obtained. Likewise, looking at goals conceded from last season, I think by around this time they have conceded around 20 goals, but this season they have conceded around 18 goals. Looking at the team around this time last season, they have lost about 4 matches, but this season they have only lost 2 matches. So you look at these statistics and you can see that, okay, the Arsenal team is actually performing better, but we football lovers actually want to criticize this because our expectations are basically high and we have high expectations from the Arsenal team. So I actually understand where you all are actually coming from, but I expect over this weekend that this Arsenal team should be able to obtain results against this Aston Villa team. But notwithstanding, this Aston Villa team also have their own way of actually obtaining a result. If you look at the first leg, Arsenal were able to win them at their home ground by 2-0 at their home ground. But looking at this particular game week, which will be played at the Emirates, we expect nothing less from the Arsenal team if they are to compete for the Premiership title against Liverpool. They have to convert their own 3 points at the end of this match to narrow down the points gap between them and their competitor, which is the Liverpool team. Okay, but notwithstanding, we noticed that the Arsenal match will be coming in later after Liverpool have actually played. So, but looking at the Liverpool fixture, we feel that Liverpool should be able to obtain 3 points. And in this game week for Liverpool, Liverpool will be playing the team called Brentford, and notwithstanding, Brentford has actually improved their game. You can see that they have scored about 10 goals in their last 4 matches. And looking at these stats and looking at the Liverpool stats in the past 3 matches, if I'm not mistaken, the match in the EFL, FA Cup, and their last Premier League matches, you can see that there's a poor run of goal form at their attack at the moment. You can see that the goal ratio from Musala and the forward has drastically dropped, and we feel that if they don't improve their game against a Brentford team of Buemo and Wissa, they may end up losing the 3 points they need to maintain their lead in the Premier League table. So the next fixture we'll be looking at has to do with the Chelsea versus the Wolves fixture, which will be going down at the Stamford Bridge. And in recent time, you can see that even Chelsea as a team are also experiencing a poor run of form in terms of goal droughts. They are also finding it difficult to convert chances in terms of goals. But looking at the Wolves team, they are also not as good as the Chelsea team in terms of attack-wise and defense-wise. But I feel that at the end of 90 minutes, the Chelsea team should be able to find a way around getting the goals at the end of 90 minutes. Likewise, they can also improve their attacking strength by visiting the transfer market and getting quality players to improve their attack option as well. So we also look at another good match that will be coming up at the early hour of the weekend game week, which has to do with Newcastle versus Bournemouth. And you can see a wonderful performance from Alexander Isak, to be precise. He has scored about 11 plus goals so far in his past 11 matches, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he is at a form of his career. I won't call him a classy player. I would rather say he's rather in form at the moment. From last season till now, he has been in a good shape in terms of form and converting of goals. Looking at this Newcastle team, you can see that everything is actually working for them in terms of attacking, conversion of goals. They already have that solved already. Then looking at the Bournemouth team, where you have Semenyo among others, they have been a bone in the neck against the big six so far in the Premier League. You can see that they haven't lost any match against any big six in the Premier League. And if they keep on going this way, I feel that they should be able to finish at a good place in the Premier League at the end of game week 38. But in this fixture, I don't expect anything less. I expect goals coming in from both teams because they are actually in a good form and in a good place in this season.